Attrition is a big factor in what we do. If you look at what's happening in markets, not just in Atlanta, not in other areas, you have your competition, you have recruiters coming after your people constantly. So how are you engaging with them? You know, we're starting to see in the Atlanta market, we're starting to see signing bonuses at almost every level that we haven't seen before, or we haven't seen in a long time, right? They're going after people. If your team has a bad day, that's the day they listen. That's the day they pick up the phone. Really smart recruiters come in and they look at month end. You're dealing with a bunch of crap, people are angry, and they're like, I wonder what AJ's team's doing on this end of the month. Let me call them. And so that's what they do. So we're going to talk about IT empowerment because if you look at this idea of digital transformation, again, I said it's ongoing, but a lot of organizations define it as 18 to 36 months. If you've got very high attrition, those projects will never end. What will happen is they'll go over budget, your key people will walk out, and if you're CIO, you'll be the short-lived CIO because you'll be the one blamed for it, right? And so it's important to start focusing on that. And I don't mean keep all of your talent, you know? You might have some that don't belong as part of this transformation, they don't believe in it, and they're not going to empower it. But if you've got a high turnover rate, these projects aren't going to get finished. And so, to lead a little bit of clarity on that, I've been fortunate enough of some of the stuff I'm going to share today, I've had the lowest attrition of any department in the entire organization for the last 2 years. We've had a 4% attrition rate in 24 months out of IT. So obviously it's working. So how are we going to do that? Let's talk about embedding IT. People throw that around, right? If you got an IT organization that's refined to, you know, the basement, so to speak, those days are over. You know, of course you're going to always have maybe that Linux admin that still loves D&D and, you know, he doesn't want to interact with people, you know, it happens. I used to be a people person, but people ruin that for me, you know, it happens. And so, but the idea is how do you take your talent and get them to be part of the business, you know? The last thing you want to do is hear about other technologically driven initiatives on Slack or Teams. You weren't part of the meeting? You got left out? Well, that means you weren't a partner. Identify key roles that can make a difference. And these will have to be IT personnel that, by the way, can play well with others. You know, that do have that personality, that can interact. We have multiple divisions at our organization, even the new one. I have IT aligned and embedded with their monthly planning, with their sprints. So number one, they can have an IT partner there that can help answer questions, but at the same time, we also get fed information, right? We know what's happening in the organization. We can influence the organization. If you're not part of the solutions, this is how shadow IT keeps growing, right? If you're not responsive, if you're not part of that, they'll go around you. So having people in IT as working business partners, you know, HR's done it for years. HR has what's called HR business partners. We need IT business partners. So I encourage you to start looking at members, figuring out how they can set in on the meetings, and you're going to have to use your influence. Because there's been times where I've had management push back and say, I don't think we need anybody in there. My response is, because you don't realize you need them in there. And we're going to put people in there. And we're going to make sure you have support. Because guess what? During that meeting, questions can get answered. Tickets don't have to be created. You don't have to create a Slack channel. You have a subject matter expert in that meeting that can speak for you, that can speak for the department, that can help drive the business. The positive aspect of it is IT realizes they're part of the business. They're not refined. They're not service orders. They're not ticket takers. They're part of people helping drive influence throughout the organization. From a human element, people want to learn. People want new things. When I came on board Optima, and what I'm doing at NetHealth, one of the first initiatives is look at upskilling talent. If, you know, I'm sure there's COBOL programmers making a ton of money. I don't want to do it. I want to do something that grows my career. I want to do something that's exciting. I want to do something that I haven't done 10 years ago. By the way, so do your teams. If they're doing the same thing, clicking on the same thing, loading the same report, It's not transforming the organization, and it's not transforming their career. There's ways to do upskilling. If you don't have a large budget, Udemy, Udacity, YouTube's free. I swear to God, I could learn how to take out my own appendix if I watched a YouTube video. I'm pretty sure it's there. So make it part of their annual goals. Work with them. Figure out what skill they need that would empower the organization, but also work with them to figure out how it empowers their career. You know, I've got people in my organization that start in one area, and I've got one guy super excited about being in security. So we sat down, laid out a roadmap where he needed to work on the next year. When we got to the goals, we were like, where are they? Are you doing it? Absolutely, he's knocking out. He's about to get promoted, moving in security. Super excited. Because we took the initiative to look at the human element of it and to understand what they wanted out of their career and what they needed in terms of skill sets to get there.